Hello and welcome to the channel. Back at Drifter's Flight Test Center. Been looking a lot into ship speed, supercharger slots, and there seems to be a lot of discussion about which supercharger slots are the best. I don't believe I've fully got that answered, but I've got a lot of really good information. This is my flight test center in the works. I have a bunch of ships set up. And what I've done is I used the Expedition to sent my best ship with the best mods and came out of the expedition and made copies of that ship. So all of these ships have these same identical mods in them. And all of these ships are from the same planet on the same planet seed. Now they've all been upgraded to S class. None of them are natural S. So they all have the same identical base stats. Only variation is in the slots. So I was pretty fortunate to get a large selection from one planet for some basic testing. So let's get right into it. And this is a 3 square plus 1. So we've got our slots here. And where is the plus 1 at? Plus 1. Well, heck, where is the plus 1? Oh, over here. So it's a 3 with the plus 1. Now, it depends on the layout. Sometimes it's better to put the Luminous engine in the slots. Other times it's better to put your Phoenix core in the slots. Phoenix core comes from the 12th Expedition, Starboard Runner. So it's 1672.6. And it's on this one, it looks like it's coming out about the same. So almost no difference. Oh, never mind. I'm getting that silly little bug. Let me do a we'll have to see that later. So anyway, it's not going to show you the base. I have to reload and that'll take too much time. So hang on a second. We'll just go off of speeds. So right off the bat, this is a 3x1 running 192 or 1092 U's. With power to the engines, you get to 1157. On PC, that's the /? Key. I'm not sure what it is on consoles. However, all of these slots, all these mods are max. Landing the boost off of your launch thrusters make a difference. Very important if you can max those out. Thruster mods, of course, these are all maxed out. And as mentioned, this comes from the Starboard Runner. Sometimes it works better in a supercharger, sometimes not. Let's do a quick check on that again real quick. So we're at 1092. We'll move it real quick. For some reason I'm not getting my information over there. Seeing that bug a lot lately. Let's turn around. And see, so this time putting that on there, it slows it down. So sometimes it just depends on the layout of the slots, what's faster. So you just have to experiment. And I've gone through most of these and figured all that out. And of course, you've got all 7 Starship trails and all 3 figurines that add strength for speed. Alright, so let's head back and grab another ship. So we're at 1093 with the 3+1. Somebody talks you want to have a 4 square or an L or a stepped, and I really just wanted to test that out for myself and see what the real difference is. And unfortunately, the only thing I don't have here off of this seed is the I don't have a stepped or a 4 square. I do have a 4 square, but it's a different seed. But you'll see some of the similar numbers. Now here's a 4 supercharger in a row. This is the first one I've seen this way, which I found fairly interesting. Again, we're getting that same bug again. So all 4 supercharger slots in a row here. Let's take her out and see what she does. So 1093 was the top on the 3 for non-boosted. This one's actually a little slower, even though they're all 4 connected. You don't get that extra adjacency, I guess, from the square, the 3 square. So 1084 boosted, of course, pretty respectable. 1149. All right, I got a few more to check. I have a sticky key on my keyboard. It'll be my next upgrade. with me a few seconds. I've got a handful of these ships, and then I'll of course compare them to some of my other ships just so you can see a base for numbers. Alright, there we go. Not going here, we're going to go here. So that was the 4 in a row. I believe this next one is an L. Yeah, this is an L. And it seems like when you have a square like that, the Phoenix core tends to do better in this position than in a supercharged slot adjacent. It's just been my experience. Your mileage may vary on that, but say I move all of these around and check it. Once again, all the mods, all the free figurines, maxed out. So we'll take this guy out. A little faster. So the L is definitely better than the 3.1, but you're really only talking 22 units a second on the same seed. Realistically, that's not much at all. It is a difference though, so if you want to go as absolutely as fast as you can, that L will do better than a 3+1. However, finding 3+1s is fairly easy compared to one that's 4 connected. You have much better odds finding a ship you like in a 3+1 configuration than in a 4 connected configuration. I said I just found this ship that tend to have a lot of those, so it was fairly fortunate. That's why I wanted to go ahead and do this video, just to explore the differences and see what the real difference is. This is another L, it's just in another configuration. So off we go. So once again, 113, 178, pretty consistent. I think it's within 1 of the other L. So I don't know where that would come from. Maybe there's a slight variance in mod layout, because even though they say the same percentage, they might be a 0.1 difference because they tend to round up, but there are some small differences, and I will show you that here real quick actually. So when it comes to your mods, you'll see, let's go here, 62, no, these are all the same. Well, never mind then. Maybe it was these guys. Yeah, I think it's in these. If you put them on a supercharger slot, you'll see one is slightly more powerful on a supercharger slot. Gives it like 1 more fire rate or something like that. So there are some slight variances in between mods. Alright, now we're going to go... Oh, I need to be over here. That was the L's. Let's see what we think. This one is the T. Yes, it is. So this one has a nice T layout. And on this one, of course, that works better in a for some reason that one works better in a supercharger, the Phoenix core. Whereas a lot of times you end up putting it here. You just have to move them for each layout. It will be different. So you have to look at your numbers, take the ship out and fly it. And this is the fastest I could get this ship, of course, with all the same exact mods. So that one, let me get right back up here. So we're running 1006, or 1106, sorry. And then with engines, we're running 1171. So, I mean, just screaming. So it's slightly faster. I don't know if I'd spend the time if I found any of the 4 connected. It seems like they're going to run pretty dang good. Now, an interesting thing I found is I have another one more of these. It's just a 2x with the other 2 superchargers are separate. I'll show you some very interesting results on that ship. That's this guy right in front here. Now I used all 4 of the superchargers for the pulse engine, I believe. Let's find out. So let's see here. We've got 2 superchargers there. Then what was the rest I did here? Oh, we have a supercharger down here, and the luminous engine ended up being better in this particular config. So even one of the X-Class mods didn't end up on the supercharger for this one, but that's using just a 2x and a 1+1. So not super hard to find, but I think you'll find it's going to be plenty fast enough. Let's take a look. Alright, so right out of the box you're talking 1010, over 1,000 units a second on a 2x. Utilizing all the superchargers, of course. And then under extra engine power, it's only about 100 units slower than one of my best ships, about 120 slower than my fastest ship. And you can find these all day long in whatever style that you like for the most part. Now the next ships I have to test are not the same seed, so this part of the video is complete. I'll show you the other ships here just for some fun comparison. But what it looks like to me is the most important thing is going to be your mods. So get yourself some good mods. They don't have to be max, but best mods you can get. Play with your configurations. The adjacencies they're a little different for every ship. So as I mentioned, sometimes the Phoenix Core does better in a supercharger slot. Sometimes it doesn't. It just really depends on the supercharger slot layout. So you just have to fiddle with that and see what you got. And of course, getting all of your trails. You have to do the expeditions for a lot of these. If you don't have them all, it's fine. You'll go a little slower, but you'll find you'll be going very fast, even without all of this. A lot of ships you can get to well over 600 to 800 U a second with just good mods, and then use your whatever superchargers you need for whatever warp guns. I don't typically see much reason to put them on shields because they don't seem to do a whole lot as far as I still have to heal just about as much. I have found that stronger guns kill things faster and you get shot less often. So you can, mostly what I do is I have one ship. I usually mod the guns. Everything else I just do for speed, just for faster ships. So alrighty, now running all these same mods in a 4-square Iron Vulture. So even something as simple as an Iron Vulture, these are, the best mods you can get, but even that, you're doing over 700 U in a hauler. 709 under engine power. 774. That's cruising in a hauler. And even without the suit, you're still running 17,000 DPS on the Infraknife with max rank mods. Let's get back, and this is pretty much the slowest ship I have. I think besides, no, I think that's my slowest ship. I think even my starter ship is faster than this one. Alright, let's go right over here. Alright, now this ship is another 4T, I believe. Yeah, it's a 4T. Yeah, this is a slightly different layout, so it's off to the side. This particular ship, of course, against the luminous engine's not in the corner spot like I normally put it. It's over here, but it actually runs faster in that position. And I'll even swap them and show you the speed difference since for some reason I'm not seeing maneuverability on my screen. So we're doing under boost 1154, 1090 again. This one I think is a little slower than the other, so let's move this around. Oops, not that one. That one. So So a little slower. You get about 28U faster just by swapping those guys around. And I said, it's just every ship's going to be a little different. You just have to play around with it and see what works best. And then the last ship is the same last ship I used in the previous video. I just want to throw that out for a quick comparison. There we go. Now all of these ships that I've shown you so far I've discovered. Of course, minus the Iron Vulture, you build that in a certain place. You can search it on Reddit or even just on Google, and you'll find where to build that at to get the Foursquare. If you want the Foursquare Iron Vulture, plenty of videos for that. This one I got just a Reddit search. I just needed a Foursquare with decent numbers, and I used this in my previous video, so kind of keep this one around just for a benchmark. Now this one is my fastest, but it is also a Foursquare. So outside of boost, I'm doing 1130. In boost, 1194. Now, there are some people out there reporting getting over 1200. Now, this has a modified maneuverability of 493. There are some that are higher than that. 505, I think, is possibly the highest. I don't know, correct. Let me know in the notes or comments if I'm wrong on that. I believe it's 505. And there's some background modifications on the ships too. Some background numbers I don't think are displaying or showing anywhere. That make some small differences, but realistically speaking, it's going to be all about the mods. I would say spend your time, find the ship you like to fly. The coolest looking ship. Either go on Reddit, try, fly around and find one you like. If it's got great superchargers, cool. If not, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. And just to show, I'm going to pull up my starter ship here. Now I got really lucky on this save. I started the game with a 3-square starter ship, so it's got some pretty favorable numbers. But I'll show you what that ship can do with these mods. Let me just get it summoned up here right quick. Oop, where do I have an open slot? Right here. No, other side. There it is. I was almost there. You can't land on these platforms, unfortunately, so when you summon a ship, you gotta summon it in the water. There's my starter ship. Now this is the actual ship I started the game with. I said I got really fortunate. It's a 3-square. I thought, what do I got going on here? Down here. So now you notice on this one, I've got 2 sets. I'm using all 3 over here with the pulse engine, and then the supercharger slot on this side is a Phoenix core with my other mods. This is the fastest I could get. You can put them together to make room for other stuff, use that supercharger for whatever. I just wanted to show how fast you can actually take the starter ship. Now, like I said, this is a 3-square, but it's not going to be that slower if you utilize all the supercharger slots. I mean, it will be slower, but not really that much. So here we go. So it looks like 764. And then with powered engines, 818. So over 800 on the starter ship. And you could do this all day long on any ship you can make so fast. So if you're a numbers guy, awesome. Go for those high stat, 4 connected, look for those 4-squares, go on Reddit, grab yourself the perfect ship. By all means, just know that it's not necessary to go that fast. Up until recently, I didn't even know you could go over 800, and I thought that was stupid. Just amazing speed. So find the ship you like, work on your mods, and don't forget about your launch thrusters. Now these are a lot easier. There's only 2 stats on the launch thrusters versus your X-Class mods have 3. So it's a lot easier to get max rank launch thrusters, either S-Class or X-Class, because there's only 2 stats to max. You can also, and there's so many videos out there showing you how to do that. So I'd work on those first because it's a great bump, saves you on your launch cost, And of course your pulse engines work on these three. Just buy the mods, open them, so you get the right ones. And then of course whatever you can get here. This is the tentacled figurines from the current expedition. Polo and Artemis is just Quicksilver. So I think they're 3,200 Quicksilver each. So not unobtainable. You can get one a week pretty easily without doing it every single day if you hit the weekend, because you get 1,800 for the weekend mission. So, and then whatever supercharger or ship trails you can get. You don't have to have all of it. Just work towards it. I think you're going to find that it's plenty fast enough. Now, only guns I run are the Infernite, and of course I use the phase beam to recharge my shields. And I don't even have maxed out mods on these guys. I just have fairly good ones. It's just not necessary. If I get low on shields, I can switch to that and charge it. And then I usually get rid of the regular. I only run the two guns just so I don't like cycling through weapons a whole lot. But even here, no supercharger, 35k DPS on my starter ship. I have killed Sentinel Dreadnoughts, Pirate Dreadnoughts easily with this vessel modded this way. And like I said, starter ship. So let's see. I don't think I have anything else to cover right away. I will actually go to the base where I picked up all four or five, six of those ships that I've tested that are the same seed. I believe there's a comm beacon for one, and I put a base down for those of you who like to use. Oops, that's not it. Yes. The destinate sites, because you just hit a pulse and go find another ship, come back. So I have a base here you should be able to find fairly easily. Get ported into that to show you there, get you all the coordinates and all that you need. Okay, so here's the coordinates. I'll go ahead and leave those up on the screen for a little bit. Take a screenshot. What I'd recommend if you don't have it set up is, especially I run two monitors, but a lot of people only run one. Find your screenshot folder for No Man's Sky and put a shortcut on your desktop to it. That way when you do these screenshots, you can pull it up. Just get to your desktop, alt tab to your desktop or whatnot, open it up, look at those coordinates. Maybe take a picture with your phone, however. And then up on the right is going to be the current location. That's for this base here. And that is where you're going to find, let me summon one in real quick. Oops. All of these ships. I think this is a pretty good looking ship. I'm more of the Switchblade Dragonfly style, but I do like this ship. With the prongs on the front, the connecting lower wing, it almost looks like an arrowhead. It's got a knife edge on each side. I really like that. I think it looks really good. It has a pretty good engine setup. It's missing the middle engine on the wings, but not bad. It's got the bonus 2, so it still lights up nice. Color-wise, it's the metallic light blue and black. So all in all, not a bad looking bird. And every variety of ship that you saw me, well, that was in this color, of course, all the ones I tested were from here. Pull that in. Alright, so if you liked the video, subscribe, give me a like, leave me a comment. What you don't like, leave me a comment. Any suggestions, things you'd like me to look into? I like to dive into things and find the real information. Is a 4 square better than an L? Yeah, but how much better? 30, 40 units a second? And the worse mods you have, the smaller that number is going to be. So if you have, say, good S-class mods and not max rank X, the difference maybe is only going to be a 10 or 15 U. So the better your mods, the bigger the difference is going to be. So you'll find that if you've just got average mods, and you don't want to min max and spend all the time, which is fine. Just get your S-class mods and call it good. Um, it's not going to matter a lot. Get fork connected in just about any configuration. A 3+1 with maybe the one being close so you can use it easier is going to do just fine. Alright, so until next time, is Drifter, and I will see you guys later.